Hi, and welcome to Turra Company, the mother-daughter podcast about everything. Our mission is to make herstory, aka history, not by going viral, but by doing something that has never been done before in our family. Whether we have 2 listeners or 2 million listeners, we are bringing you our very best, and hopefully we are learning and growing together in the process. Now let's enter into the Turra Company experience and create herstory, aka history together. Welcome to season 3. Woohoo! Did y'all miss us? Some people did. Some people, you know.
What are you laughing about? Why is that funny?
Because people did miss
Chelsi?
us. People was giving me feedback while we was on break that they can't wait for us to come back in the fall.
Right, I believe that. But why is Chelsi laughing like that's funny? Like,
Because she don't think I know people or talk to people or something.
Why is y'all all up in my brain right now? Like, I really didn't even say anything. All I did was laugh.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Laughter usually means something.
Not with me.
Okay, got it.
You just be laughing randomly.
Right. I told y'all, I used to tell people in elementary school I used to have a laughing disorder because I just used to laugh for no reason.
I thought you used to tell people that for attention.
No,
but-
not the attention. Listen.
I just had that Kevin Hart moment where I was like, damn. So welcome, company. We are back in the house. What were we doing? Just chilling.
Nothing.
So
this season come back in as eventful as the last one. We didn't go on no trips.
No,
We didn't
we
do
really did.
nothing.
we've been super chill.
Right.
We've been super chill. I've been trying to heal my back, which has been working out. I had a epidural in between, but I'm feeling way better than I was. Chelsi, what you been doing? Working?
I went to Texas
On
for
a
work.
business
on a
trip.
work trip.
But that's the best kind because they free.
Exactly.
True.
It was all on my company's dime, which
Yeah.
I got reimbursed even for my airport snacks, everything I got reimbursed.
You was eating snacks at the airport?
Well, just like my breakfast, like when I went to the airport, I got me a
dang,
little
you was
Burger
eating all the
King-
meals?
Burger, exactly. When someone else is paying
I bet
for
you
it,
when you go next time, you ain't going to eat no Burger King.
You eat every meal.
Get you a little Starbies while you're waiting for your plane.
The line was too long.
Mobile
That's why-
order it, baby. Place
Oh,
that mobile
you know what?
order while you're in.
I definitely could have did that. I
Yeah.
wasn't even thinking about that.
Place the mobile order.
Now, I will say, while I was in Texas, I went to a Starbucks Reserve, which I guess they're just like special Starbucks. Can't tell you what the difference is. But at the one I went to, they are like, I guess, beta testing refreshers with chia seeds in them. Chia seeds.
Was they gelatinous?
Well, and I tried to order one. Well, and like,
I'm
listen
not
to
laughing
this.
at you. I'll tell you what I'm laughing at when you get finished.
Well, I tried to order one. So I went up to the counter and I said, hey, I'm like, so, I want to try the little chia lemonades. Like, what's the best flavor? Do you like mango? I think I said mango or like passion fruit. I put like 2 of the flavors against each other. He was like, yeah, I don't really like those, but you can get this. And I said, not really what I asked, but okay. So now you just made me not. Now you're not going to get the survey because they was asking people to do a survey on it to see if they was going to roll it out. I was like, so now you just lost Starbucks some feedback because I was going to give an honest review on if I liked them. So if Starbucks chia seed lemonade refreshers don't ever hit the market, it's
because of you.
It's because of the cashier because he didn't let me try it.
Well, because you didn't leave the remarks.
Because
too,
he
right?
didn't let me try
Oh,
it.
he didn't let you try it.
Because he didn't
Did
give
I
me
miss the whole story?
Yes, because he didn't give me his opinion to have me try it.
he didn't even give you the option. He was just
Right.
like, "Oh, yeah, I'm
He
not
was
even
just
going to
like,
let
I'm
you."
not even going to talk about that. We're going to talk about these dragon fruit refreshers. And I'm like, okay, definitely not what I wanted, but all right.
Not remotely what I asked you about.
But let me tell you, it was a really good trip. It was a really good trip.
That's good.
It makes me want to go again just for like for my own personal, especially the area that I stayed in. The area that I stayed in, it was very outdoorsy. It was like an outdoor mall, but also had bars. And
What area were you in?
it was called like the Domain.
Oh, okay. Never heard of it, but okay.
Yeah, so that's why I really didn't understand
Austin,
why
right?
you asked.
Well, because people might want to know.
Absolutely.
It was in
You
Austin,
forgot.
right?
You're not just talking to me. You're talking to millions of other people.
Absolutely.
Look at me putting it out in the atmosphere. Millions.
Absolutely.
Millions.
Yes,
So let me tell you.
I was in Austin, Texas to answer Ariel's question.
Oh.
I just wanted to make sure she didn't get left.
Oh, thank you.
left out.
Thank you so much.
Austin, Texas. The domain at Austin.
Yeah, you said that in the beginning, but I just didn't know the area. So the reason I was laughing when you said, what did you say about the chia seeds? And I said, was it like gelatinous, right?
Gelatinous?
I said gelatinous. Is that not the right way to say it?
That is not the right word.
How do you say it?
Gelatinous?
Yeah, because it's gelatin. Not
Okay, so gelatinous. My pronunciation in Detroit would be gelatinous. So listen, y'all, because y'all getting off track. So recently I was talking to my friend and she was talking about chia seeds and she was like, yeah, they put chia seeds in something. I said, oh, was it gelatinous? And she was like, and then it was all like gelatin and stuff. And I was like, so it was gelatinous.
But gelatinous.
And she was like, I said, do you not hear me? Can you not hear me saying gelatinous? She was like, well, I think I don't know what that means. I said, so you just gonna skip over it because you don't know what it means?
Absolutely.
Why did you just stop me and
100%.
say, what does that mean?
No, I would do that too, especially in that kind of situation. Because, like, I would assume you mean gelatinous.
But she didn't even know what. If I would have said gelatinous or gelatinous, she didn't know. She didn't know what I was talking about. It was so funny because I was like, I was like, did she not hear me? I was like, so it was gelatin. So when she said it was like gelatin, I was like, yeah. So it was gelatinous. And then she was like, I said, do you not hear me? She was like, yeah, but I don't think I know what that means. I was like, oh, okay. That was the funniest thing. So what did I do? I didn't do nothing. I told y'all the pandemic got me messed up. I'm still messed up from the pandemic. I do not be the one to go outside.
That makes sense.
I do not. I work from home, so I don't have to go out to go to work. I got a new car, so every once in a while I'll get out and go, take a drive in my new car. We've been driving to Arizona a little bit because I've been wanting to play the lottery because Nevada doesn't have the lottery, so we have to drive. Fun fact, if you guys didn't know, in Nevada, if we want to play the lottery, we have to drive. It's a 30-minute drive to Primm, California.
State line.
Well, the city is Primm, though. It's Primm. Is the name of the city. And then, or you can drive an hour to Arizona. And lately, I've been going to Arizona. Even though it's an hour, it's a smoother ride. It's like straight through. Me and Chelsi went a couple of weeks ago. It's straight through. We didn't win the billions. But let me tell y'all this. Even if we won the billions, we're going to still do this show. I mean, we would just do it bigger and better. So don't get scared if we win the lottery. We still will do the show. I don't know
if anyone was really scared. I think maybe I would hope people would think that that's what happened.
What?
If we came into some really big money, that we would continue the show.
We would continue the show. But some people might be like, I'm good.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
And then, Ariel, what'd you do?
Also probably nothing really. I don't think I've really done much.
You just been hanging with your boo thing. My man.
My man. And also, speaking of, let's just update the people. Ariel still has her man. Update, Chelsi has still not found her man.
And that's okay, because he coming. The man. You'll know, because this how we gonna start the show when you get your man. We ain't gonna say welcome. We gonna be like, my man.
Look,
thank you to my man.
Yeah. So Ariel been hanging with her man.
Yeah, that's
that she don't be wanting to talk about. He don't even listen to the show. I don't even think.
You know what? He doesn't, but
does he know what it is?
He does.
Okay,
kind of. So,
because when I was talking, okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut you up because I got to tell this story, and it relates.
I don't think I'm gonna like this.
No. It relates to him.
Okay.
So one of the things we did this summer that we didn't talk about was my mother turned 70, and we gave her a big 70th birthday dinner, right? So John, I call him John Vincent. because he has
Just
two.
gonna put
Because he
his
has
whole
two
name out
names.
there.
He has two names, John Vincent. He was at the party, and I was saying something about the podcast, and he was looking at me like. Sometimes when I mention it, he looks at me like. Is it really a real thing? So I need you to have him listen to one of the episodes so he can, because I don't think he thinks it's a real thing.
No,
like
I know
that
he
we're
knows
on
it's a new-
Apple Podcasts. I don't think he thinks we're as big as we are.
No,
that's
and
what I'm
what's
saying.
funny about it is he knows it's a real thing because I talk about we record all the time.
Yeah, but I don't think he gets it,
And
though.
you know what? And let me tell you, because my students just recently found out
Yeah,
that
that's
I
what I'm
have a
telling
podcast,
you.
and I had one of my students come up to me, and they were like, "Chelsea, I don't think I really truly like estimated what you were gonna like what it was when you said that you had a podcast with your mom and your sister." I said, "No, it's a whole production." I'm like, we don't just sit and talk with our iPhone mics.
Right.
Like, I said, we have mics. We got a whole soundboard.
We
like,
sound our, we're really
we got
good.
a whole thing about it. And then she was like, "I need you guys to do video." I said, "Here's the thing." I said, "We used to do video." I said, "It's just a lot of work."
It is.
It is so much work.
And I have a story about that after I finish this. So you have to get it over to next time I see John Vincent, I'm gonna be like, John Vincent, go on your phone. I'm gonna make him go on his phone because this is what I always do to people, and y'all should do this too. I make them go on their phone. I make them pull us up, and I make them follow us. I do it all the time. I make them follow us. So that's what I'm gonna do for him, so he can see. Because I'm telling you, the way because John he speaks other languages.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when I'm talking to him, because I talk fast, I think sometimes he be looking at me like, "Okay, I got it." But I might not got it all the way. And I think with this podcast thing, I don't know that he knows that it's as big as what it is. Because we're big, baby. We're big.
Yeah.
We're
it's
big.
funny. And what's funny, what is so funny about it to me is he and I we've talked about it like so many times.
Right.
So,
But he's not following us though.
and he also like, he's told me before, he's like, "Do you talk about me on the podcast?" I'm like,
Well, tell him to listen so he can find out.
I'm like, if you listen to
Buster?
it, you would know, but.
I'm going to call him a buster until he listens, and then I'll stop calling him a buster.
And I'm like, I've talked about you like a little bit. I'm
Yeah,
like,
not
not a lot. And,
Yeah.
and I recently was talking.
Because he don't be doing nothing like that.
Nothing worth like really. Like,
Well, he did do one thing, but it's explicit. We can't talk about it. The lotion.
Oh my!
Yeah, we can't even talk about it. Just know,
Lord.
if we had an explicit show and we wasn't trying to keep it clean,
Oh God!
we would tell the story about John Vincent and the lotion.
The facial lotion.
And it's not what you think. It's not what you think. Get your minds out the gutter. But it is.
it's about a particular brand.
It's
of
about
lotion.
and he pronounced it a certain
So
way.
wrong.
Yeah.
So wrong. But that's
Very
another
wrong.
one. Anyways, what I was saying was. My best friend recently listened to an episode of the podcast
For the first time,
For the first time,
I tell him he lost some points. He has lost so many points with me. How long we been doing this?
you have to remember
2 years?
he has, but Gabe doesn't listen to podcasts normally. So
I
like
don't care. When your best friend doing one, you better listen. But I get it.
But yeah, he doesn't. He listened to us for the first time because I told him that I mentioned him because I've told him before that I've mentioned him,
Mm-hmm.
but he was like, "Which episode specifically?" So I
No,
can
he got to listen
it.
to all of them.
And I
All
was,
60 of them.
all
We have 60 episodes, so he better go through all of them. While he working, just keep us playing.
Just
We
keep
need the
him playing
downloads.
keep him playing in the background. Now that we're on YouTube, that's more likely gonna
Yeah,
happen.
that's how I listen.
yeah.
Y'all probably think I'm so vain, but so we publish on Sunday. So if you want to listen to the new episodes, they come out every Sunday. So I publish on Sundays, and then on Monday mornings, I'm always on YouTube while I'm at work. The TV is on, and I pull up YouTube and I just listen, and it's just so refreshing. Who needs video? So to that point, and then we're gonna get started because we had to check in. So lollygagging was appropriate for this show, but because I usually don't like a lot of lollygagging, but this was catch up, so I'll endorse it. So what I was gonna say about the video about your friend, your student, whoever.
Definitely was one of my students.
About your students saying video, because people do always want video. But I'm going to take y'all back. there's this guy who kind of, I was watching an interview and he was talking about podcasting, and he actually is one of the founding fathers of podcasting. I forget his name. He used to be an MTV VJ, and he like really pioneered podcasting. And he says, I hate video. And I was like, he is a champion of my own heart. And you know why he says he hates it? He says because podcasting was created to be a talk kind of radio thing. It wasn't created for video. Like, it's fine if you do video because that's what people want to see. People want to see you. That's fine. But what it was created for was when people were doing their housework or driving down the street, driving to work. You can listen. You don't have to. He says he has all the equipment. He can do video. He said, but he chooses not to. And that's it. That's so true.
Yeah. One of the biggest African-American podcast groups known as The Read, which is one of my favorite podcasts. Okay. They refuse to do video.
After Ours is your favorite After Ours.
I don't even know. You walked right into that. I'm going to just say that right now.
Yeah, because when you did it, I was like, wait a minute. You got a favorite other than us?
I mean,
maybe she just... Let me
your number two favorite?
Let me help you out, Ariel. Maybe she just meant that it was self-explanatory.
I kind of did feel like
that this was number one. Okay.
I mean,
but then she was saying like other than ours.
Yeah, I feel like I can't count myself, but that
you can.
I mean,
you're your biggest fan.
I mean, I am
always.
I mean, yeah.
You should be talking about this show every day.
That feels a little bit. Anyways, my point is. My point is one of the biggest African-American podcasts run by African-Americans, The Read.
Take a shot every time she says African-American.
We'll tell you why we're saying that.
I get it.
You don't know why we're saying it because it's an inside joke, but we'll tell you.
Okay, anyway.
We're going to tell you. African-American podcast
that is like well known around the world and does like live shows and has been around for over a decade.
Okay,
they don't do video.
Yeah, and they blew up.
They've been huge forever, and they don't need to do video because
it's about the voice. If your vocals and your production is good, like ours, you don't need to see us.
And if the people are good, it just feels like you're just on the phone kicking it.
Yeah, you don't need to see us. Get out of this need to see us stuff. We are going to do video. I ain't even going to lie because I do want to do video, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work other than coming in here giving y'all content with this voice. So anyway, a couple of things I want to give everybody an update on. So while we were on break, a couple of things happened. Sponsorship. I am so excited about this. So through our host, Buzzsprout, you are now able to click our link tree. When you go to our podcast website, you can now click a button and sponsor us for as low as $3 a month. So if you like us and you want to sponsor us, because guess what? This ain't cheap. We've been sponsoring ourselves for the last 2 years. We don't mind the help. It's a shameless plug. We don't mind the help. If you want to sponsor us for $3, that's like a cup of coffee, ain't it? That's less than a cup of coffee, ain't it?
Way less than a cup of coffee.
That's less than a cup of coffee. So you can hit that sponsorship button, get set up, and you can donate as low as $3. The sky is the limit. If you want to be a big bank Hank and do hundreds, we accept all things. Okay. We accept all things. But anyway, I wanted to put that out there. If you wanted to sponsor the show, feel free to go on our any of our socials, click the link, our link tree, and then go to our website. And when you go to our website, you will be able to sponsor us. That's one thing. There's another thing that I want to do on season 3. I want to start shouting out some super listeners. We got some super listeners that listen to us, that engage with us, and I want to shout them out. The first one I'm going to shout out is All Day with Tay. All Day with Tay, let me tell y'all, she's been down with us since day 1. She interacts with us on Instagram religiously. She sent me a note just recently and said her and her mom listen to our episodes and they enjoy it. So I want to just shout out All Day with Tay. If you're not listening or hooked up with her podcast, go on over and be a follower of her podcast. It's called All Day with Tay, and her name is spelled T-A-E. All Day with Tay. So look her up. Give her some love, guys. Give her some follows and things like that. Another shout out I want to do, and then we'll get started with the show because we've been going. I want to shout out my uncle. I got a shout out my uncle because let me tell y'all something. My uncle is my biggest fan, and I never mention him on the show much, but I was talking to him recently, and he was telling me, we was talking, and he was like, because you a celebrity. And I was like, I am a celebrity. And so when you have people in your corner like that believe in you as much as you believe in yourself, you just got to shout them out. So, Unc, we thank you for the support. We thank you for being our number one fan. So let's get started.
That's a great transition, Mom. Would you say that your uncle believed in your dreams when you were young? Can we pause for the great transition that I just did? Anyways, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. So much. So proud.
Okay. Yeah, great transition, Ariel. So yes, I think everybody in my life, to be honest with you, supported my dreams. They always, I've been so blessed that most people in my life have always thought if I wanted to do it, I could do it. I never really had people that tried to shoot me down. So if you didn't catch the transition, what our show today is about is dreams. So a couple of episodes back before the break, the girls left me. Chelsi had something to do. Ariel had something to do. And I recorded a show all by myself. And it was on dreams.
I really think a lot of that happened because of Ariel, because we had the plan that I had a nail appointment scheduled. So I was going to come home from the nail appointment and then we was going to record. But then I came home.
One told me that then she was gone.
So then if she gone, well, then I guess we're not recording. So I'm going to go.
So no one told me that that's what the plan was. So no one communicated that.
No, Ariel, I'm going to stop you right there. Because you were the reason. Because you and your man, my man, y'all made some old impromptu plans that day. I don't even know where y'all went, to the park or something. Y'all went somewhere, skipping through the park, playing with the geese or something. And so I was like, first I was like, oh, we just not going to record. We're not going to be able to do it, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, no, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to do it myself. So if you haven't listened to that episode of me by myself solo, I'm proud of myself for doing it. It's not easy. I definitely would think twice about doing this show alone. It would definitely be something that I would have to practice, because when you don't have somebody to kick off of, it's a little different. It's very different. So while it was fun, while I enjoyed it, it would definitely be something that I would have to think about. So anyway, our show today is about dreams, because I said that I was going to follow up and do a show about dreams with you guys. So what I'm going to do, since I already talked about my dreams in that show, and again, if you didn't listen to it, go back and listen, because I talked about how I feel like dreams manifest. I feel like you need to have a dream versus a goal, because that's what the show is called, Dreams versus Goals. I think you need to have a dream that starts the vision, and then that turns into a goal. So, Chelsi, what's your dreams? Tell the people what your dreams are and how you feel about dreams. And we're not talking about the ones you have at night, because you do have some vivid ones at night too.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole other.
That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole other episode.
But some people have prophetic dreams, and I think that's what Chelsi has. Not that her dreams should come to pass, because they be kind of crazy, but
some of them are like.
Did we win the lottery in any of them?
No, I've had dreams that we've won the PCH Public Clearinghouse, but not.
Oh, money is money, babe. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay. But the reason you might struggle with what your dreams are is because you might be walking in your dream right now.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why.
And you know, because and you know what just put me in this state is the fact that you said that dreams are different from goals.
They are. Well, dreams start the goal.
Yes. Because what I was thinking in my head, it's kind of like how pre-production, when we was coming into the studio and you was like, well, what is it? Like, do you want to, you want to get married, you want to have kids and things like that.
Our dreams.
Yes, which absolutely those are dreams. But also like lately, like I do want to, those are dreams that I have and those are visions that I have for myself.
What, getting married and having babies?
Yeah. But also,
Babies that you can't change the diapers for.
why you just gotta always blast me about that? Like that was one situation.
'Cause
Like
it
I had never.
It is
been
the
around
most
a child
craziest thing that. But why
But
did you
and-
volunteer to watch a
because
friend's
I knew
child?
you were here and you were gonna.
But
help
what if
me
I'd
through
had
it.
something to do?
But you didn't though. But you didn't.
So people don't know. So Chelsi, we might have told this
I
story.
think we have. We have.
Let's refresh it. Chelsea has a friend that has a kid that's a little kid, and she volunteered to watch the kid, and the kid needed a diaper change, and she brought the kid to me and said, Ma, she needs a diaper change. And I said, well, change her. And she said, well, I don't know how to change a diaper. And I said, and you volunteer?
Because before, up until that point, what situation was I ever in to know how to change a diaper?
I feel
I've
like
never
you should
been
have
in-
asked the girl, your friend,
She
for.
wasn't there. I didn't get the child from her. That's the other thing.
The whole thing
so
was
that's
just a
kind of
little
another
raggedy.
reason why I put myself in that situation. But now I can say I know how to change.
You know
a
how to
diaper.
change a diaper now?
Now I know how to.
Now
change
you
a
know
diaper.
how to take care of a baby.
I mean, I could have pulled up a YouTube video on it too, but
Right.
pretty
But
sure it's a
anyway.
YouTube video. But I don't know. Now, what I dream for myself is just, and this is gonna sound crazy, but
No, dreams are not crazy. Dreams are your dreams. And that's what I say on the show, on the Dreams versus Goals. I say that don't worry about if other people don't get with your dreams because it wasn't for them, it's for you. So
Yeah.
it ain't going to sound great. Who cares if it
Yeah.
sounds crazy?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I want to like grow on my own. You know what I mean? Like I want to
Be
like
more independent,
I feel like I'm pretty independent as it is already,
but
but
move out.
like be on my own
Yeah.
and like
It's coming.
yeah, and like just like have a place to myself. Like you know, like those condos that are by the house that we talked about. Lately, I've just been having the dream like I just want to buy one and I want to just have a place to my own. Like
Yeah.
and like buy like a condo or like just a small little
townhouse.
Yeah, and just be in there by myself.
I'm so glad. I am glad that that's one of your dreams. Woo! Gets me off the hook. Because if you didn't have a dream to be
What are
on
you
your
talking
own.
about, Mom? We talk about it all the time that if I could, I'd stay here forever.
I know we talk about it. But
Mom, between the two of us, who do you think would be more likely to stay at home?
I think I both
forever?
gonna move at the same time.
Why
That's my dream.
Okay.
That's my dream. No, listen, I already know y'all gonna do y'all thing. Ariel, you been out. That's why you so comfortable because you was gone for 5 years and you just came back. So
that's true.
that's why you just,
But see, I've never been out.
Right.
I've never been out of the house. Well, like living on my own or living with someone or living in another situation
Right.
without them. Like I've never been out of the house like that.
And that's okay.
So
You know what? It's no time limit on that. You just need to be ready because I don't want you coming back. That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
I want you to be ready. I want you, my dream for you is that when you move into your dream home, that you have enough money saved to buy and furnish it the way you want it, all cute and neat and pretty, and just be comfortable. I don't want you to move out and be on the struggle bus.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you live with me still, and it doesn't bother me because you're trying to get your money up.
Right.
And so that's cool. Any other dreams?
I mean,
So let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you a follow-up question. So that's a dream, and that's a good enough dream. I mean, that's one that'll keep you busy for a minute.
Yeah.
Have you set goals towards getting the dream, or is it so new that you're in the goals set up process?
it's so new. Like it's become a recent discovery that I'm in the process of getting the outline for the goal.
So for our listeners, and being a 25-year-old, how are you going to set the goal? Is it something you're going to write down and plan out, or how are you going to set a goal?
I'm a planner. I need to
You're going to write it out?
not physically right, but like just
You're going to map it out?
yeah.
Yeah. That's smart. Because some people knee jerk. That's why I asked you that. Some people, and that's why I think this show is so important to talk about dreams and goals, because some people will have the dream and execute it and won't take it into goal phase and map it out. And then you find yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
You find yourself like, oh my God, I don't think I can afford this.
Right.
Oh my gosh. And then you get into a situation where you're now stressed out from your dream, right? So I think that's a smart thing to do is to dream it, map it out, and then once you map it out, just keep going towards it. So that's
because I can say what's crazy is what used to be a dream of mine, what we all know, because I feel like I talk about it every so often on the show, is being an esthetician.
Right. So that's why I was saying that's why it might have been hard for you to vocalize it, because you walking in your dream, one of them. And that's what I also said on the dream show is don't stop dreaming.
Yeah.
Like once you get to that dream and hit the goal and do it and live it, then next you go to the next one. And that's what living is all about. So Ariel, what's your dream? This is because you don't never talk about your dreams. You're so private.
Yeah, that's
what's your dreams? Your man.
No, well, not yes and no. So that's the funny thing is that I've always had like dreams, but I never really talk about them. Mostly because like I've always been of the school of thought of move in silence.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's
real cheese, move in silence like lasagna. But
I get that.
Yeah.
But dreams also you don't have to tell the whole dream.
Right.
You could tell a piece of a dream because you telling a piece of your dream motivates others.
Right. That's true.
Especially in this type of setup, right?
Right.
Because some people don't know how to dream. That's why I think this is so important, because I see visionless people all the time that don't even know where to begin. Like life has beat them down so much, they don't even know where to dream. So when they see you dreaming, and then this is why I like to not move in silence, because I don't move in silence. Anybody who knows me real good knows I tell it all. I don't care. And you know what? I have no shame about it. If the dream comes true, it does. If it doesn't, oh well, I'm moving on to the next dream. But I don't mind telling my dreams because I feel like that's a testimony when my dream comes true. So when I say, oh, I'm going to marry Neil, and then I marry Neil, and I stay married for 30 years, somebody can look at that and be like, dang, I remember Turra said she dreamt to marry Neil. You know what I'm saying? So it helps people to see a dream come to pass. So anyway, what's your dreams?
So I interestingly enough, I never really dreamed about like getting married and having kids. That wasn't necessarily like a dream. It was just something that I just knew it was going to happen for me.
You know it's going to happen because it hasn't happened yet. Did you get married and I don't know about it?
No, I just know it's going to. That's just something I was always like, that's going to happen. Like that was never something that I was like, because for me, the way I've always seen dreams are something that you work towards, right?
Yeah, with the goals, right?
Like, yeah, dreams and goals are things that you work towards. I just always knew that that's, not only was that something that I wanted, that's something that I knew was going to work out for me. Right. Just with who I am as a person, the things that I wanted, the way that I sought out relationships and stuff like that. That's just, that to me was kind of like, not necessarily a given, but that's,
just how you see your life flowing.
That's how I saw my life flowing. So that was never necessarily a dream that I always like considered a dream. But what I always considered a dream was, and something that always kind of repeats to me and comes up a lot when I think about dreams, is financial literacy. And I know that that's a big way of thinking about it. But one thing that always repeats for me, and that one thing that always kind of comes up when I think about my dreams, is I know that there are a lot of things that other people don't know that I think that I could help people with. And one of those things is I don't think a lot of people know enough about how to make money or how to manage their money. And that's always been something that for me, when I was in high school, when I was in college, that's something that I've always felt drawn to, that I've always felt a gravitation towards. That's to me always been my dream. For me, dreams are like, they come in tandem with things that you're drawn to. Yeah, they absolutely come in tandem with what you feel are your gifts. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I think, and one of the things that I think a lot of people get off track with, you can have a dream, but I think also you have to make sure that your dreams are in alignment with what you're called to do. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because you can have the dream to be an astronaut, but if you're afraid of heights, what's the point of being an astronaut? You know what I mean?
You're afraid of flying.
Right. Like if you're afraid of flying, like you can't be like, oh, I want to be a doctor, but have a fear of blood and pass out at the sight of blood.
That's why I said I never want to be a nurse.
Right.
Like those are things that you have to make sure.
Unless you're gonna try to work through the fear and go in spite of it. But I get what you mean.
Right.
It needs to be in alignment.
It has to be in alignment. And and like you said, you have to be able to work. If you have that fear, you have to work, acknowledge that within yourself. You have to realize within yourself what, I don't want to say limitations necessarily, but what roadblocks do you possibly have within yourself or even externally are in your way? You have to really think about within yourself, okay, and kind of self-inventory of what traits do I have are going to keep me from this goal. So a goal for me has always been, I want to teach, just like how you always say that you want to talk to people and that you feel your calling is to talk to people. I've always felt that my dream and my goal is to talk to people about their money. And I know that that's not something that people talk about. And I think that that's absolutely bonkers to me. And you don't have to get into specifics with people about money. Like you can teach people and you can like the bare minimum is a budget. The bare minimum is a budget.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people that just be flying by the seat of their pants with no budget. I don't know how these people live, but I'm not one of those people.
Right.
I have a budget and I still mess up. So imagine if I didn't have a budget.
Right. And one of the other crazy things to me is that people think that like not talking about money is what's going to make them rich. And I think that that's also bonkers.
Well, I think the reason why there's two things I want to go back to your conversation about. I want to go back to you saying that you have to be connected or called to the dream, or it needs to be within something of your range that you can do. I wanted to say also, to piggyback on that, you don't want to get stuck, right? Because I said that in my Dreams versus Goal episode, that I know a lot of dreamers that will tell you all their dreams. I'm going to do this. I want to do this. And you never see them action anything. And I think that some of those people might have gotten into a situation where they've dreamed a dream for themselves that wasn't their calling.
Yes.
They may have dreamed a dream for themselves because their parents told them that that's what they should do, or they see somebody else doing it and it looks so enticing that they think that they can do it, and they think, oh, I'm going to dream that dream too. But it's not necessarily a dream. Another thing that I wanted to say is sometimes people think dreams have to be so big. They don't have to be so big. If you dream to be a janitor and the best darn janitor, be a janitor. Like your dreams don't have to be like so big and all a millionaire or a billionaire. They can be, I just want to have enough money to live comfortably, pay all my bills, and have money in my savings to take care of emergencies, right? That could be a dream. But the difference between the dream and the goal and action is you got to keep taking the steps. You can't just dream it and be like, I want to be an astronaut, but you don't do any classes. You don't find out what being an astronaut entails. And then you just keep telling everybody you meet that you want to be an astronaut. So that's the first thing. The second thing I wanted to answer or talk about is when you say people don't want to talk about money, most people are embarrassed about money.
And genuinely, I don't think people should be.
But if you haven't learned how to manage it and you mismanage it constantly, and the people who you're talking to appear to not mismanage their money,
they make you
that's
feel
embarrassing.
I 100%.
That's why people don't talk about it.
Yeah, I 100% agree that's the environment, that's the culture that we live in.
It's the class thing, right? Because if I make $40,000 and you make $90,000, I don't want to talk to you about
and you're gonna feel
our salaries.
Yeah, but you could be making that $40,000 and save a lot of, and
and
have like a nice
live
house
within my means, and you could be $90,000 and living above your means,
right? And that's the kind of stuff that I think more people should talk about, and that's something that people should think about.
Yeah, we should have a show on financial, since that's your calling and your dream. we'll map out a show for financial. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's always been
financial literacy. Why do you keep just saying financial?
Yeah, I mean, that's not something I can give like actual advice because I can get sued, but I do think that
we're not going to give advice, but we can just talk about it like we're talking about it now. Very brief overview of the different ins and outs of finances.
Yeah, because I think that's something.
You'd be surprised.
And kind of to bring it back to also the dreams is that's always been something that like no matter where I go, what I do, that's always been what in my heart of hearts and in my spirit, I always get called back to. That's
is the financial is literacy.
It's always been that. And it's weird and it's funny.
I'm laughing because Chelsi made me say literacy. Because remember, I just was saying financials.
Yeah. I mean, financials, financial literacy, same thing. But that's always been something, even when I was in like high school, even before, because fun fact, side quest story. I went to a special magnet high school, right? And when I first started, I was in the computer science program, which is very different from what I do now. I didn't do very well in that program, so I ended up switching programs into business. So one of the things that I always like gravitated towards was I always gravitated towards my financial classes. Mm-hmm. Like I did pretty well in my accounting classes. When I was in college, I did pretty well in like my financial analysis classes. So I've always felt like that's been my niche. I think that an important part about dreams is it's not just saying what the dream is having the courage to be able to self-analyze and say, hey, I have this dream, but what skills do I have and what skills do I need to make this a reality? Yep.
That's about yeah. And you have to, yeah. What she said. Because I mean, she said a lot there, so I ain't gonna regurgitate it, but yeah, it's definitely that. Like I said, I'm not gonna speak too much on that. I'm just the moderator on this show because I already talked about the dreams and goals and how I feel that they work. And I'm going to say it again. What I'm going to say? Go listen.
Yeah.
I give a lot of bass in my voice when I tell y'all to go listen because I really want y'all to go listen. So anyway, that's our show for today. Hopefully you got a little bit of an insight on dreams as the perspective of the young people. I always give you the perspective of the senior. And then they give it senior. Remember, what cartoon did y'all used to watch? And it used to be Senior.
Oh, Kim Possible.
Yes.
There was Senior,
and Senior, Junior.
Now that is the stupidest.
Because it was Senior, and then Senior, Junior. Because the Senior was his name, and then he named his son Senior, Junior.
Okay, so as the senior, I always give you my perspective, and then I always like to get the girls' take on it because they, in the 20s, in the realms of the 20s, and just starting out with life and giving you that. So, just want to wrap it up. But I forgot a shout out. You know who we got to shout out? Our doctor.
Yes.
If we don't shout out Dr. Fred, aka Dr. P. Dr. Fred, let me tell you where that came from. When I was talking to him one day, he listens to our show, and he was like, I can't wait for you guys to come back in the fall. He was like, just call me Dr. Fred, and I'll know who you're talking about.
Yikes.
Yeah, okay. He told me call him Dr. Fred. No, so anyway, we love Dr. Fred. He is the best doctor on the planet. We sound so old because we always talking about doctors on this show, but at least we go. So we got to shout you out. We got a show coming up in the future. I'm not going to tell y'all what it's about because it's a surprise. But we have a show coming up in the future that I think everybody's going to be so excited about. It's a couple of shows coming up. Chelsi's going to do a skincare show. Woo! Yay! Woo, 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 woo. I'm going to do, what am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to be doing these new little throughout the season. I haven't figured out if I'm going to do them once a month, but I'm going to do these little chronicle shorts, Turra's short chronicles that I'm going to do once a month. Just talking real quick about some things. And so I'm going to do that this season. So there's a lot of things that we have coming up this season. So make sure that you're tuned in every week. We are so glad to be back, right? Are we glad to be back?
Of course.
guys?
Yes,
We always miss it. Do you guys miss it really? I know I miss it.
A little
Do you
bit,
guys?
yeah.
A little bit. Why are you only see you say those little words and then that makes me question you. Why only a little bit? You better
Because I like my little break. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we need breaks. You know, that's what I was going to say. If you are a podcaster listening to us and you do not take breaks, you need to take breaks. Because if you've been just rolling and doing it, you get burnt out because there's so much to it, right? I know I do. I get burnt out. So one of the things that kind of burnt us out this last season to me is we did not have our episodes batched the way we normally do. And that to try to get in here and do them episodes as I'm releasing them, that stresses me out. I like my episodes, I like 4 in the can. I like being at least 4 ahead. That way, if anything comes up, we got it covered. But we just, because of my backlash season, we just weren't that way. So, podcasters, if you're out there listening to us, because we do have podcasters that listen to us, our sister podcasters, our brother podcasters, take your breaks. Come off of that social media. When we go on season break, I do not do a lot of social media. I come off of all of that stuff and just let my brain refuel. So do that. If you're listening and you're a podcaster and you're not taking breaks, take breaks. Take season breaks. So that's our show for today. We are so glad to be back. We thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
Adios. Okay, bye.
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We look forward to you joining us on the next episode. Until then, be inspired and enlightened.